All right, so you want to improve your head voice. My name is Mishan. I'm a singer, songwriter, and vocal coach. Today, we're going to dig right into that.
Run, run, lost boy, they say to me.
So before we go into a lot of detail about how to improve and how to strengthen our head voice, we really need to understand what is head voice. Head voice is two things that are occurring at the same time. One is that at the vocal cord level, we switch musculature from what we call TA dominant vocal production to CT dominant vocal production. Probably losing you right now as far as the terminology. So let me clarify that. There's one set of muscles, we can call it whatever, but they're called TA muscles that are responsible for the creation of chest voice. And then there are other muscles that are responsible for head voice. So it's that simple. It's not, don't get afraid of all the terminology. Really, we're just talking about two different muscle groups that are responsible for two different resonances. Now, I've already hinted to the second part of this puzzle, which is our vibration. So once it's actually created at the vocal cords, it begins to vibrate elsewhere in the body. This also separates chest voice from head voice. Chest voice, it's resonating or vibrating out of the mouth. Head voice, it's coming up into the head and it's vibrating up there. So we have two things happening. With head voice, we need to have the CT muscles working and we need to be using head resonance in order to hit those notes. So to simplify it even more, chest voice, ah, head voice, ah, chest voice, ah, head voice, ah. So when we're going into our head voice, we need to make sure that we let go of any TA dominance. So what we don't want to have is and trying to pull that chest voice up into our head voice range. Realizing there is a difference, allowing us to go into head voice without any push or any force. Now, what makes things even a little bit more complex is that within head voice, we have two different types of head voice. We have one type of head voice that involves mostly just the ligament of the vocal cord and a longer opening time of the vocal cords in each vibration, which is called falsetto. So it sounds airier. There's a rush of air coming through. Ha, ha. That's your falsetto. And then we also have head voice. Which has a closed chord position, which means essentially that the vocal cords stay closed longer with each vibration, as well as the full muscle of the vocal cord starts to get involved. So it's a different type of process within head voice. So what we're going to first focus on is falsetto, because if you're not able, and some of you may be able to do this very easily, but for those of you who are not able to do this, you can't jump straight to pure head voice if you don't already have falsetto in the bag. Just being able to do it nice and easy. So what we're going to start off with is a very light, easy falsetto exercise that starts way up in your head and we start to slowly trickle down into your chest voice. So follow with me. Ha, 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 ha. At a certain point, you're going to notice that your voice wants to go into chest. Try to bring your falsetto as low as you can. And then we're going to slide down from there. Till we land in our chest. What this does is it slowly starts to open up your falsetto. Now we're going to do it in the opposite way. So we're going to go going upwards. Making sure you get a nice H in between each one of those. And so this is going to train your falsetto. Now, what many of you might be doing right now is this. And pushing and forcing. I want you to think of totally letting go of all the muscles here. If you're interested in learning more on how to sing, I created a resource that I wish would have been around when I was starting to sing. With the subscription I've created, you get access to all of the courses that I've created and more that are coming. You get access to all of my private lesson recordings that I have from other students so you can learn vicariously through them. And you get monthly one-on-one lessons with me. All of this is available for one low monthly price, and it's a very well-rounded approach to learn how to sing. Click the link down below to get access now. So, first thing to check in on is this muscle right here. This is called the digastric muscle. Is that muscle jumping in? So stick your thumb under there, give it a good stick, like shove it in there, feel that muscle, and then do the Is that muscle pressing down and flexing as you're doing it? We want to try to bring our conscious effort to relax that muscle. Second thing, is your jaw opening properly? So are you going and holding the jaw tight? We want to open the jaw. Here's another trick. See this little part of my ear right here? I want you to stick your finger right in front of that, and I want you to feel when you open your jaw, you get an indent. Put your finger right into that indent and make sure that that opens all the way till your finger falls into that indent every time you're doing this. So I want you to make sure you're opening your jaw properly. I want you to make sure you're not engaging here. So we want to try to make it totally released. All these muscles are letting go. That's the key here to be able to find falsetto with a lot of ease. Good, like that. So we want to make sure that we're getting that flow. Now what we're going to do is we're going to change it into a straight tone in falsetto. Making sure you're keeping that air flowing. When I do it, I start with an H and I let that H guide the whole scale. You're going to find so much release if you allow that airflow to guide the sound. You really want to think of riding the tone on top of a bed of air. And so what we're going to do now that we've got our falsetto is we want to start to apply that to a little bit of head voice. So what we're going to do is lean into the falsetto a little bit till we find just a little bit of connection where our vocal cords start to come together and we get more of a full voice type sound. So we're going to go, see if you can do that. There's going to be a little bit of a shift where your vocal cords go from that mostly open quotient to mostly closed. But we want to try to make that as light and easy as possible. Now let's do it here. And we don't want to balloon too much into it because, again, we're trying to keep it in head voice. So keep it nice and heady. So now what we're going to do is actually change the vowel around so that we draw ourselves more towards head voice. By and large, the rule is wider vowels bring us more towards chest voice. Narrower vowels bring us more towards head voice. So what we're going to do is we're going to use an oo sound, which is the narrowest vowel, and that's going to bring us more towards our head voice. So what we're going to do is oo. And that way we're leaning into it from that falsetto place first. And so we're doing a little bit of an engagement, thinking what I'm doing to be able to get there of that head voice is I'm leaning in with my lower abs. So I get my lower abs, to get involved to be able to do it. So if I go from basically no ab involvement to now my abs are getting much more involved to be able to project that sound out a little bit more, get the vocal cords to close around that airflow that's being sent out. That's what we want to do. All right, so step number 3, what we're going to do is we're going to try to jump straight into our head voice sound. We're going to go from the top of our range down and try to bring that head voice further down into our bottom of our range. So we're going to go is like this. Now, what I don't want you to do is suddenly shift into chest. So we don't want to go, ooh. We don't want that sudden shift to happen. I know many of you are going to want to do that. Try to bring that head voice down as low as you can and try to eventually merge with chest, not jump into chest. The way that we do this is by lightening up the chest voice, thinking nice, light, and soft on the chest voice. So then that way we're able to merge that head voice with our chest voice. If you follow this 3-step routine on a regular basis every single day, you're bound to definitely improve and strengthen your head voice over time. So try these exercises, work through them. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. I'm happy to help. And if you like this video, please hit the like button down below. It helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. If you want to see more videos like this, check out that one. You're going to like it. Go for it. Click.